These days, it seems like all guitar players are really scaling down their rigs. Gone are the days where everyone needs to cart around a 100-watt head and a 4x12 cabinet. These days, many guitar players are opting for small pedalboard amps to either drive a small cabinet on stage, run an IR loader, or go straight to the PA system. In this video, we're going to look at a product that can do just that. This is the Baroni AFK150. The AFK150 from Baroni is a very small, portable guitar amplifier. This thing is a hybrid amp, so it outputs 150 watts via a tube preamp and a Class D power amp. It's designed to sit either on top of your existing speaker cabinet. It's got these wooden wings on the side which raises it up, or you can detach those and you can mount it straight to your pedal board. You can run either straight out of the back into a real speaker cab or an IR loader, or you can use the direct out to go into the PA system with the built-in cabinet simulator. If you're unfamiliar with Baroni as a brand, they're a boutique brand headed up by a guy called Ugo Baroni. He's been building great boutique pedals for many, many years. Ugo has recently teamed up with Chico Bellini from Gurus to form a new brand, Foxgear Limited. So what we have here is a 150 watt hybrid guitar amplifier. So we've got a tube preamp and a Class D power amp. This thing can output up to 150 watts of power. So as I said, it's pretty much all you're going to need to drive any kind of cab or IR sim. The great thing with Class D is it doesn't need to see a speaker load, so you can run this into your own third-party IR loader or any guitar cab, or you can use the built-in cab sim to go straight to the PA system. So the AFK150 is essentially everything a guitar player might need tonally to get through a gig. Now this is definitely more on the vintage end of tonal voicing. The two channels in this thing, we've got a clean channel and a drive channel. The clean channel is voiced to give you that kind of brilliance and sort of fat bottom end of a Fender Blackface style amp. And the drive channel is your typical British cranked amp stack. So think of like a Marshall Plexi or a Marshall Major, something with a bit of that 70s British crunch. The drive channel circuit is based on the Gurus Doubledecker Mark II pedal, which is essentially a Marshall in a box style preamp pedal. So here we've got a Fender and a Marshall amp in a box that we can switch between at any given moment on stage. So it gives you two very, very classic amp sounds to work with. So before we take a closer look at the amp, I just want to let you guys know this is not a sponsored video. The guys at Baroni and foxgear are not paying me to make this video, but I have got the AFK150 here on loan for a few days to create this video. But all the thoughts and opinions in the video are my own. So let's take a closer look at the pedal. So it's quite a simple layout. The top row of controls are for the clean channel and the bottom row are for the drive channel. In here we have the high voltage ECC81 preamp tube. That's what's giving us all our tube goodness. So the control layout for both channels is pretty much the same. Here we have the volume controls for the channels. So this is the clean volume. This is the drive volume. Each channel has a 3-band EQ. So we've got bass, middle, and treble for both channels. Then we've got drive controls for both channels. Over here we have the master volume, and underneath that we have a presence control. The foot switch down here switches between the clean and the drive channels. Then we've got 3 mini toggle switches here in the middle. The first one is a ground lift, so this is very useful if you're going direct into the PA and there's any ground hum issues at the venue. The middle switch switches the cab sim on or off, so when we use the cab sim output, if that's on, it will default to the cabinet simulator sound, and if that's switched off, it will default to a direct sound, so then you can run it into your own IR loader. And the third toggle switch is series and parallel for the built-in effects loop. On the rear of the pedal, we've got quite a lot of connectivity here. So we've actually got a standby switch, which is quite useful. So if you're not using it, you can hit that switch and it will mute the output. There's a foot switch, which we can use as a remote. So we can use this with a switcher or a looper, for instance, and switch between the two channels remotely. We've got 2 different speaker outputs here. The first speaker output is 8 to 16 ohms, and the second will handle 4, 8, and 16. If you run this at 4 ohms, you get the full 150 watts. Obviously, as you go up the ohm numbers, the total output wattage does decrease slightly. I believe 8 ohms is about 75 watts, and 16 ohms is around about 40 watts of power. We've got the line out. So this is the output that's going to give us our cab sim. Then we've got the effects loop send and return, and then the guitar in. And obviously, this runs off a kettle lead style input. These wooden wings are removable. So as you can see, the unit is actually raised at the moment. So if you're putting this on top of your cab, your amp top or your cab handle would sit underneath here and you can run cables under there, but you can take these off and put it flush on your pedal board if you want as well. So now I'm going to plug this thing in and we can have a listen to some tones. All right, so gear-wise, I'm using my Jackson Adrian Smith SDX guitar for this. It's a pretty versatile guitar, humbucker single, so it should give me all the tones I need. I've got the AFK150 running via the 2-notes Torpedo Captor X, which is running an IR of a Bassman style cab. And then the reverb you're hearing is coming from the Walrus Audio R1 because the AFK150 does not have any built-in reverb of its own. So we're going to start with some clean tones. I've got the clean channel selected. As you can see, the top row of knobs is illuminated in blue. If I hit this foot switch, it switches to the bottom row, which signifies the drive channel is active, which is yellow. So we're going to start clean. I've got the volume of the clean channel about 3/4 of the way up. The EQ is currently set straight up at midnight, and I've got the clean channel gain just about 1 o'clock. I'll tweak that as I go, and I'll tweak the EQ settings as I play. So it's a fairly versatile clean channel. We can flip between quite a few different EQ things there. Obviously, when we push those mids, we do get into some more British clean sounds, and we can actually push the gain quite nicely there and actually get some breakup. If we dime the EQ, we can probably get into some slightly tweed amp style sounds as well. So there's quite a lot you can do with that clean tone. I quite like it when you keep it quite clean, but bring those mids down a little bit and darken it up slightly, so we kind of get into that scooped John Mayer-y kind of thing. So those are our Fender style tones. Now, if we go over to the drive channel, so I've got the EQ still on midnight there, set the volume just above halfway and the gain a quarter of the way up. So now we're going to get into a British Marshall-y style crunch. dry channel is really versatile. We've got all those classic Marshall-y style tones there. It's not a super high gain amp, as you can hear. This thing doesn't need to be high gain because it's really voiced for vintage style playing. So now we're going to check out the built-in cab sim. So I'm going straight out of the line out of this into the front of my DAW. The built-in cab sim must be activated by pushing this switch here up. If that's in the down position, we're just going to get a direct sound without a cab. So push that switch up to get yourself in the cab sim mode. The cab sim built into the AFK150 is a pretty standard setup. It's a 2x12 cab with Celestion Vintage 30s mic'd with an SM57, so it's a pretty solid reference tone. So I've reset the pedal with all the EQs back to midnight now. I'm just going to play a bit on the clean channel, tweak some EQs, then flip to the drive channel as well. The built-in cab sim is really, really fat sounding actually. That would be great straight into a PA because you get all the clout and low end of a real cab. Now, the only feature I haven't talked about, and I've actually left this alone for the entire video, is the presence control. So the presence control is like an overall level of brightness. It's just like a top-end sheen on your entire tone. Now, I don't tend to tweak presence controls too much in my own playing. I tend to find I just like to find the sweet spot and I leave it there. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play a little bit on the drive channel and I'm going to sweep the presence control from complete 0 all the way up so you can hear the range of what it does. So that's actually quite a subtle presence control anyway. It doesn't actually give you too much top end movement there, just a little kind of sheen on the top. But yeah, there it is. There is the Baroni AFK150. What a cool little thing. I really like that we can now get these pedalboard sized 150 watt amps. You could literally put that on a pedalboard, take it to any gig, power either an in-house cab or go straight into the PA system, and you can pretty much take your tone anywhere with you. The clean channel of this is great. It's really snappy, really tight feeling. This little thing would also be the perfect pedal platform. So if you're looking to travel light, you just take this to a gig on your pedal board with all your favorite pedals in front of it. And there you go. There's your entire tone. You can either plug into an in-house cab, as I said, or straight into the PA system, and you never have to worry about carrying a big, heavy amp again. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this. It's the first time I've tried anything from Baroni. It sounds great. It feels good. That's the important thing. It kind of feels nice and kind of tactile to play. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of the sound of the Baroni AFK150. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of these pedalboard sized amps at some point. My only criticism with mounting this on a pedalboard is the tube inside generates a lot of heat. So the underside of the unit actually gets pretty warm. So I don't know how long your sticky back Velcro would last on the bottom before melting off. But other than that, the thing sounds great. And it would be really cool to hear this at some point through a loud PA system, because I think this would really sound awesome at volume. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think of the Baroni AFK150. There's also some links down below in the description where you guys can check out more about this amp and read all about the specs and everything this thing does. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, while you're down there letting me know what you think of this, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks so much for watching.